and welcome to the 10th, 11th, 12th, October 13th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Sorry I had to count that down. I am losing track. Time is moving so fast. It is such a huge throbbing pain in the boudoir. My birthday on the 8th, the daughter's birthday on the 10th, the stepson's birthday was on the 4th, my twins on the 22nd. We're just full of October shenanigans around this place. Who do we got in here so far? We got there's Santee. There's Tony. Good morning, gents. Hope you're doing well this morning. Getting this month rolling. It's almost the end of the year. I cannot believe this. We have been having. I'm sorry if this hurts Santee's feelings, but he was born up here, so he may remember these days. But we are down in the 60s during the day. We are down in the low 40s at night. I left for work yesterday morning. It was 42 degrees outside, and that was almost sunrise. This morning, I think we're in the 50s today. Yeah, we're at 52 already, and it's just a few minutes after 8 a.m. So I wish we could just do like an audio chat where you guys could talk because it keeps me from looking all when I have to keep bending down to look at the chat. Morning, Tony. I left when I was 1 year old. Couldn't take it there. Had to get out. Yeah, summer to winter in a day once again. Thank you, Santee. I appreciate it. It was a day. The wife brought me home a frozen banana cream pie at 8:30 that night. She said might have to let it thaw for a couple hours, and I let it thaw for about 30 minutes and cut off a frozen slice, and that was my birthday cake. I said, "Where's my presents?" She said, "Well, we're not divorced yet, so that should be present enough." So it was. Did I ever change that PSA? Give me a birthday gift or support the channel. Nope, never changed it. Go figure. Uh, it was okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really good. You know, crunching through the ice crystals and stuff. That it was still frozen. I mean, I literally had to take a knife and perforate the pie and then just snap it off. But when I tried to pick it up, even perforate it, picked up the whole pie. So I just sat there and wiggled it till I broke that one little triangle loose and stuck it on a plate and left it out all night so it thawed out, and then stuck it in the fridge. When I got up, like 4 hours later, I went on and stuck it in the fridge, and it was fine. So yeah, she knows. She does know. I mean, if she really wanted to give me something, we only have one place within 20 miles that sells sugar cream pie, and that's my favorite. But that was the one pie that my mom couldn't make when I was growing up, so she always made banana cream pie, chocolate cream pie, lemon meringue pie, cobblers, things like that. So, but sugar cream pie, oh yeah, definitely. You guys, that have been with me for a while know that it's not a holiday around here. It's not Thanksgiving or Christmas unless I got at least one sugar cream pie on the dessert table. So, as a matter of fact, our little farmers market here in town keeps them in stock for me. I've asked them several times, where's sugar cream pie? Oh, we're out. Why? I don't want to drive for an hour to buy one single pie, or well, two pies, maybe three, just depends. But yeah, they make sure that they double their order before all the holidays here to make sure that I'm able to get sugar cream pie. Let's see here. Morning, Drew. Morning, Brenna. Good to see you, love. Happy birthday to me. It was last week, but by God, I'll still take all the birthday wishes because I think wishes are the only thing I'm living on right now. So we'll see. Brent, how are you? Damn, now I'm hungry for sugar and other empty carbs. Me too, Santi. But check. First to check the blood sugar. I've been trying to stay away from the empty carbs. I'm still dropping weight. Um, Next step is to start going to the gym with my buddy Mike. He goes every day. I mean, he's got this program already worked out. Uh, and I'll tell you what, for being 6 years older than me, he's starting to get some arms and stuff on him. Lost all that old belly and everything, and got a little bit of bulk to his chest now, getting some size on his arms. So I think the only days he takes off are Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday. Right about the time I'm getting out of work, he's heading to the gym and working out for 3 or 4 hours. He does his arms one day, he does his chest and belly one day, does his legs one day. Um, I think he does his back. So yeah, he's got this thing down to an art form. Um, I'm good getting kiddos around for school. Sorry, I don't get on social media much anymore. 244, so no to the sweet and yes to the needle. And I was really surprised. Last night was the first night in like 4 days that we've not had to get up, or the wife have had to get up to tend to the daughter to wake her up. As still to this day, as much candy and little pieces of cake and stuff that she um, consumes. Uh, Seems like she goes to bed at 10, 9:30, 10 o'clock. She'll fall asleep, but by midnight, her blood sugar's starting to bottom out. And, our alarms start going off at 80, and it really starts to go off at, I think, 45. And, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or no, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, um, her blood sugar just tanked on us. So we were getting up and tending to her. The wife was getting up, and then when I got up at 1 or 1:30, I would I'd pull out the old trusty phone here, and let me see here. Yeah, you can see it. We that big gray band right there. We monitor her something fierce. So I have it. Yeah, yeah, you can see it. I think she's at like 144 right now, if I'm reading it correctly. But oh, 154. My bad. But I sit in here, work on stuff, and just watch it. Wait for the alarms to go off on it, and let me know if I got to go in there and wake her up, make her a peanut butter and honey sandwich or something like that to keep her afloat. She very seldom ever goes up though, and that's weird. I mean, every once in a while, she'll she'll eat. She always auto injects herself with that little pump on her leg, and I've seen her up. I've seen her up in the 280s a few times, but that's only because we don't have an accurate measurement to know exactly how much she injects herself with, or she's supposed to inject herself. But as soon as we figured that the count was off or the weight was off, she auto corrects. So we very seldom ever have a problem with it going up. It's bottoming out, and that can be some scary shit. When you're woke up with that whap 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 whap, because we have just a tone alarm when she hits 280, but when she hits 180 or 80, damn it, we have just a tone alarm. But when she hits like 45, we have like an alarm that's guaranteed to wake us up. So I don't know. We'll. I was up to 400 or so yesterday, but usually I don't see over two. Yeah, she's got way up there, just shy of three before, like about 284, 285, 286, right around in that area. But like I said, it just automatically starts dropping again. And she has the same issues with her type 1 that I had with my type 2, 7 or 8 years ago. Is you can't tell if it's high or low just from how she's acting because she gets very lethargic, gets tired, her legs start hurting, whether it's high or low. So, yeah, it's the same issues that I had. Very dizzy, very lethargic, just body aches. Now, when mine got like super high, I was getting nauseous and, things like that. I mean, that's some scary. That's what we were really worried about with her, but it's all lows. Oh. So I hope everybody is having a good month of October so far. Santee, I liked chatting with you the other day. I wish we could get back like we used to be and just chat. Call each other, video chat. But between me staying as busy as I am, you working 6 days a week. Um, but yeah, when I saw that, I tell a story about myself here. When I started rewatching the old Star Trek, The Next Generation again from the 80s and 90s, and I seen an episode that was set in uh, Dodge City, and it was called A Fistful of Datas. And in one scene in that movie or in that TV show, it looked like they were walking past the hotel in Moscow. And I swore to God it was. So I asked Santee about it. He said, nope, Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm like, damn, that looks just like Moscow. Go figure. He would know. And that's why I went to him. What am I getting here? Crap. I'm getting messages. Oh, it's my coworker, or one of my coworkers, the guy I trained last week. Dude is just like me. Yep. The world has been cursed. There is a 30-year-old version of me all over again out there walking around. And he wants to start doing investigations with me. So hopefully, with Mark's schedule as screwed up as it is, hopefully the three of us will get out, or if Tony can come out with us, the four of us can get out and hit a couple places before it gets, snow gets butthole deep to a giraffe out here. Because they are calling for a nasty winter. I think there's going to be a week or so that nobody can even leave their houses. Um, I get extreme sugar cravings and cotton mouth. Normally I have the monitor, but the unit quit, and I am doing the finger bit now, so 4 times a day. Good morning, Stephen. Good to see you, bud. Long time no see. Because I play guitar, I won't stick my fingers on my left hand. So my right fingers are stuck too damn much. Man, I don't even want to think about I don't even want to think about the monitors and stuff now. Um, damn it. Coffee? Oh, God, I'm out of coffee. Uh, Wife just got word last week. Um, those almighty, godlike figures in Washington and everything, and their ultimate state-funded insurance kickback. Of course, you guys know I lost all my insurance 2 years ago. So, no more diabetic treatment, no more blood clot pills, no more blood pressure medicine, nothing being done with the eyes, stuff like that. Last week, they canceled the daughter. She has been on state insurance since she was born. They canceled her. So the wife, of course, automatically started severely freaking out about all the diabetic stuff that she has to buy now. And of course, everything is covered but the tester that I just showed you guys, the pump, everything else is covered. The most expensive things covered. But that tester that she sticks on her leg that tells us what her blood sugar is 24 hours a day is over $1,000 a month. And go figure, the other two insurances that she has, which, her sperm donor and her mom both pay for, and her mom pays almost $400 a month for that insurance. Neither one of them cover it. It's not essential. So, yeah. fun, fun, fun. So now, you know, it's just one more thing to freak out about around here, not knowing how we're going to monitor her blood sugar at night when it's bottoming out. But they don't care. I guarantee you get one of those caseworkers whose child is diabetic. I bet the hell they got a monitor on. But then again, the money they make for what little they do. And believe me, I know because my ex-wife worked in the health department down in Indiana, and so did her mom for over 20 years. And all they ever done was sat and talked about blowing this person off, closing the window on this person. They didn't want to deal with them. On break. Letting phone calls go to voicemail because they didn't want to listen to people. Going in, clocking in, sitting at their desk for 6 hours, 6 hours, getting paid for 8. And but of course, these are the same people who, at the end of the month, after the food went back when food stamps were paper, these are the ones who would take the remainder of the food stamps that were sent to their office, and they would split them among all the workers in the office. So even though these people were bringing home, $700 or $800 a week, they were also bringing home $400 or $500 in food stamps every month. So, yeah. Um, Cause not like So I hope the hell you guys are all doing okay. That's all I really have to complain about. That and the fact that, it's that time of the year again, so my hours are getting shorter and shorter. Um, I now qualify for part time. Oh man, I need to start deciding to do live streams the night before, the morning before, or something. I remember back when I used to put them up 4 or 5 days ahead of time. Hell, we'd have 20 people in here. Go figure. How's how's Ty been, Brenna? I've not I've not seen nor heard anything posted music wise by him in quite a few weeks. Is everything still going okay with him? I've not even seen him on a chat. Not got a message from him. Hi, howdy, how you doing? Kiss my butt. Nothing like that. Yeah, the sensors I use are 250 a piece. Each lasts 10 days or less. So, yeah, it ain't cheap. Yeah, that's hers are like 340 each, because for that $1,000, $1,000+ you get 3 monitors in that box. So go figure. And it really just kind of it just gets us that we both know people who are professional child bearers. Yeah, I guess that's a job title these days. they're professional child bearers with multiple partners, and they're getting $1,500 a month in food stamps and great insurance. But people who work for a living who just need help can't get the help. So yeah, every month thus far I have had one fail and run around to replace. Oh God, I know. Ours are the same way. She'll have at least one fail. We've had two fail, and Steph has to call the doctor's office, and the doctor's office has to call the supplier, and then they say, okay, it's going to be 3 or 4 days. Well, the only one she has left has got 5 days left on it. So, could please make sure it's here in 3 days? And they usually come in about the fifth day. We're sweating bullets because she's got to replace it in like 2 hours, and the thing finally comes to the door. So, and what's really funny is we've got it set up where one of us has to sign for it, and it worked that way for like the first 6, 7, 8 months. Then all of a sudden they just start dropping them at the door, not knocking, not getting a signature, not anything. So we don't know how long this box is even sitting on the front porch now, because they're not asking for signatures anymore. So, yep, go figure. Um, my DLC won't get involved, or my doc won't get involved. Must go straight to Dexcom, and it takes 3 weeks to get another. Now, see, we have ours delivered right here from FedEx or UPS or whoever's delivering. So it only takes us probably on average 3 to 5 days to get replacements in. So luckily. Oh, let me see here. Do dooka dooka dookie. There we go. Whoop. Oh, let me see here. I have to get mine from a pharmacy. Well, and see, that's what we used to have to do. Is every time that her insulin came in, every time that um, she needed new monitors, anything like that, her pumps, we had to drive what almost 50 minutes round trip to go to Myers, to the pharmacy, because that was the only one that they wanted to deal with. So we had to drive 50-mile round trip, 55-mile round trip, um, to pick it up and then come back. With her mom's work schedule, we weren't always able to make it the day they came in, because some days she works till 5, some days she works till 8, some days they call her in or call her and tell her don't come in till 4 and work till midnight. Well, she'll get the notification at when she's heading to work at 3:45. Oh, her prescription's ready. A lot of good that does us. But then we found out they could be delivered to the house. So that made things a lot easier. The first 8 to 10 that didn't work were our fault. But the last 5 to 6, I know better. And things worked for a few hours or days before stopping. Yeah, see, we've never had one stop while it was on her. We've had them start malfunctioning while it's on her. She started feeling very lethargic, very sickly. It's telling us her blood sugar's 120, 115. So we stick her finger and we test it, and it's, you know, 55, 56, and it's worked the opposite way. The monitor is telling us that her blood sugar is low, but she's up running around. She's happy. Being, she's playing. She's not lethargic. She's talking fine. So we test her, and she's 170. So yeah, give or take with these monitors, man. Give or take with them. It's pretty easy to get needle screwed up on trying to place the thing, so it was on us at first. I see. We've never had an issue with that. When she um, goes to pull the thing or pull the monitor out of the pack, the needle will be laying in the bottom of the pack somewhere. It just completely, either in production or whatever, gets pulled completely out of the monitor. It's laying in the plastic when they go to pull the monitor out with the little thing that shoots it on you. They go to pull it out, and they keep they look at it to make sure the needle's sticking out straight, and it's not there. They look down, there it is in the little holder laying in the bottom of it. So that's been the biggest thing. And then, of course, not working properly has been the second. Um, I can function with blood sugar level in the 30s. My doc says that shouldn't be possible. I know I can't. I get down into the, you know, 60s or 50s. I don't even want to breathe, let alone do anything else. But if you'll remember right, um, my blood sugar averaged 350. My doctor said, or my endocrinologist, which I put a lot of faith in because he was so good as an endocrinologist that now he's a professor in Boston teaching endocrinologists. And he said that that's just probably where your body is comfortable at. I would I would average that 350, and I seem to operate very well at 350. If it got if it got down around 200, 150, you would really start to see a change. And by the time I get down, to 100, I'm wanting to find some place to lay down and watch TV. And if I drop very far below 100, in the 70s, 60s, even down in the 80s, um, I was passing out. I was going to sleep. Currently, my docs are happy with my blood sugar situation. Um, Probably average 110 to 140. That's not too awful bad. So, if you guys have been, catching any of the drama, um, been going on in the spooky community, the the Conjuring House was supposed to go hit the auction block on Halloween, October 31st. Somebody came in and bought up that mortgage, um, that $1.2 million mortgage. They did not buy the house, they just bought the mortgage. So Jason Hawes, formerly of Ghost Hunters, set up a GoFundMe. Um, he's been making regular videos about that for the paranormal community to donate. Um, and then he said that whatever at auction time that they have in there, he will match it. That way, he doesn't get all of um, the curse of coming up with the money to buy the place, coming up with the money to update and remodel it, to get it set up as an LLC, to do everything he needs to do. So that's been uh, that's been in the news a lot lately. And then, of course, we got the Warren's house that Matt Rife and um, yeah, Castee um, purchased. They are still they've just opened it up as a B&B. I know there's a couple of YouTube paranormal teams that are actually going to go next month to that one. They're allowed up to 8 people on a team. It is just a little over $2,000 for a 24-hour period. Um, and of course, you get a room, you get meals, you can even borrow their equipment. There's a complete kit worth several $1,000s that you can get and borrow. Um, but then you come down to that fee you have to pay to post videos from the place. 3 minutes to 30 minutes is like $200, $250, and it goes up, with the more um, video material that you have. So that's the reason that Jason's um, basically doing the GoFundMe thing is so he won't have to charge an exuberant amount of money off, from the start to pay it to make the money back. So, props to him. I hope to hell he does it. Um, I think it'd be pretty cool. Oh, let's see here. What do we got here? Um, still dropping weight. Me too, brother. Me too. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good this morning. I don't keep up with the paranormal thing. It don't hold my interest at all. Yeah, I know. That's why I've noticed I don't ever see your comments on the other channel. But I see Jason Hall's point. It takes believers, non believers, skeptics, debunkers. They're all part of that community, whether you're a believer or a non believer or whatever the case may be. And he's trying to do the para unity thing. You know, I've been preaching para unity since we started doing the paranormal thing, and he's he wants to continue to bring everyone together with the place, and that's one of the another one of the reasons that he's doing the matching thing on the GoFundMe is, you know, anybody could afford to, if he gets it, anyone could afford to do the Conjuring House and, you know, not break the bank or anything else. So, but it's also the idea that, that one location has brought people from all over the world together, multiple cultures, multiple groups of people, not just, you know, believers, non-believers, debunkers, you know, stuff like that. So he's got some big dreams, and he, if anybody's possible to pull it off, it's Jason. So I've talked to him just a couple times. It was a couple years ago that I had a chance to talk to him. I would like to talk to him again, but he is so busy between his own thing and that, and so we'll just have to see. Let me see here. I am a member of the other. I am not a debunker or even a hard non-believer, just not into it. And that's good. I still like you. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say you don't believe like I do. We can't be friends. It's not my style. I don't give two tiddlywinks what a person thinks or believes in or anything else. So how you doing, Jay? You re-energized yet from that? Seems like a month long trip. Seems like you guys were gone forever. Every time I thought, oh, they should be back home by now, you know, I'm seeing something else posted on Facebook or something where you guys are here or in this country or over here, and it's like, doggone, how long are they? Did the ship get commandeered? Are they just traveling the world now? How's this work? As I sit here, will swear before God that I saw Santa Claus flying across the sky when I was 12. I can believe that. You all know how I am about that. Um, you know, mystical beings, and you know, spirits, and I don't just mean spirits of people. I mean the spirits of the holidays. Um, Santa Claus. I believe in him. The Great Pumpkin. Eh, maybe not so much, but I'm fine. Finally getting over the illness that came back with me. I was down for 5 days after I got home. Doctor said it was influenza. I wonder though. It's one of my clear childhood memories. Yeah, I knew you guys were sick. How's Jan feeling? Didn't she get sick too, right along with you? I mean, as cozy and as cuddly as y'all looked in some of those pictures together, I'm pretty sure she probably picked up whatever bug you had. Um, I'm just glad you guys had fun. That was a hell of a trip for y'all. You know, to see so many different countries, so many different locations, to go from one place to the next like that. That was a beautiful trip, and I'm so happy that you guys got to enjoy it. I don't know if I could do it or not. You know, the whole being on a ship thing and being out in the middle of the Atlantic and going out north of where the old HMS Titanic went down, um, or even launched from. I mean, you're going up there real close to iceberg waters. And I mean, of course, everybody knows there's 3 times more iceberg under the water than there is on top of it. So, yeah, I start seeing icebergs, I'm putting on a life jacket. The nice thing about it is the water is too cold for anything to survive that's going to eat me. Sad part is the water is too cold for me to survive if it don't eat me. So it's a lose-lose situation. Um, Funny thing about Santa, Jan, I've been working this festival for her friends selling crystals and whatnot, and I had a child come up to me last Saturday, a week ago, and as if I was Santa. That's cute. She's fine. The weekend gig wears us out. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, you guys are just hair older than I am, and I know what it's like. When the wife wants to go to a festival or something like that on the weekends. I'm just thankful that I'm off on Mondays, but that's just like Friday night. Um, we met the stepson and his girl and the granddaughters, and took Felix to go roller skating at a skating rink, fun center, and we were out till what 10 o'clock, um, and all I did was sat and watched. Had a couple pieces of pizza, watched Felix roller skate, played with the granddaughters. And my butt got home, went straight to bed, and I slept clear through till 4 o'clock when my alarm went off. So, and that was just me sitting. I can't imagine, standing there working a weekend gig for the whole weekend, and then trying to do anything on Monday morning. I No. Um, I played that one to the hilt, playing Santa. Oh, I bet you did. This is a Halloween festival for the weekend, starting the last weekend of September through Halloween, since her friend has a brick and mortar store in Metamora. So Jan offered to run it for her. Okay, I got you. Makes sense. Yeah, it's been a few months since you know Jan was up doing that, running around and stuff. I think it's harder doing a festival than it is what she was doing at the restaurant. Even at the school, at least she was in that centralized location in the kitchen, or in the lunchroom, and she was at the school. I think being up and tending to people and running back and forth in this little booth would be even harder on her than it was the stuff she was doing there at the restaurant and stuff. So we're never home on the weekends now. Keeps us out of trouble. It's been interesting. Oh, I bet this last weekend's weather was wonderful compared to the last two of 90 plus. Yeah. Yeah, that's how we've been here. The last couple weekends, we've been in the 80s, 85, 86 degrees, I think 2 weeks ago, and then 81 degrees. And then this whole week, it's been 60s during the day and mid 40s to low 50s at night. And, it's like I was saying at the beginning of the stream yesterday morning, it was 42 degrees when I left the house. This morning it was like 49 when I got up. And when I started this, an hour ago or whatever, it's been an hour already, almost an hour ago, it was 52 degrees already. But we're only supposed to get up in the 60s again. I think our weather is supposed to warm over the next 3 days. I think we're supposed to hit, if I remember correctly, we're supposed to hit like 70 tomorrow, and then 72, and then 72, and then drop right back down to the 60s again. So it's not going to be warming too much. Wonder where Sarah's at this morning. Bet she went back to school and forgot about us. I'll have to send her a message later and say, even though you forgot about us this morning, we still love you. Yeah, I don't think they've changed that forecast. Oh, we've dropped 2 degrees. Here it is almost an hour after I checked it last time, and we're down to 50. Daily. Let me see here. Nope, we're going to get up to 72 today, 71 tomorrow, and then 65, and then 66. Go figure. Sometimes life gets in the way. Amen to that. I'd uh, I'd be doing a lot more live streams and a lot more investigations and a lot more videos if bloody life didn't keep getting in my way. But I already get up whenever between 1 and 2 and come in here and work for 3 or 4 hours and then head off to work. So, and after getting up at, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, by the time I get done working and toting them 50-pound pots of dough around and stuff like that, then I come back home, fall asleep. Come back home, put something in my belly, and doze off for 3 or 4 hours. 59 there and raining. Ooh, that makes me worry. Let me see here. Where's my Doppler? All right, there's me. Shrink this puppy down. Man, that's a pretty good sized storm that you're getting you're getting your little piece of. It goes clear up into Canada. As a matter of fact, it just hit Marquette, Michigan, not very long ago. Clear over by Superior. But your piece of it, it looks like, is going from Green Bay all the way down to Springfield, Illinois. Peoria is in the tail end of it right now. Come on, give me some more. Oh, nope, hits Springfield, then jots off to the west, and then goes all the way down. Hit Springfield, Missouri, Fort Smith. My God, it goes all the way back. It goes all the way back to Amarillo and then drops southwest past Lubbock, Odessa. My God, it's clear down in Mexico. Nuevo Casas Granadas. Just got hit a little while ago. That's a big storm. Heck, that's going for a ways. Pretty much guaranteed we're going to get some of it. That's for sure. But that's okay. We are down 6 inches as of a week ago. We ain't had rain for a couple of months to speak of. I think I'm going to build a guitar today. Well, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't want 6 inches of rain all at once myself. Um, but it just rained here 4 days ago, 5 days ago. I mean, we had some pretty good thunderstorms come through here. A lot of lightning and thunder, shook the house a couple times, rained real heavy, and of course we got the handy cat. Out of the three kittens that are outside, um, the one I call Licky, which I mean, whenever you walk outside, she rolls over on her back and you go to scratch her belly and she starts licking your hand. That's why I call her Licky. She's not afraid of water. So, she's just sitting out on the back deck in a thunderstorm looking at the door like, somebody let me in. Please let me in. Or come out and play with me. Um, so we get a good wind, it'll blow the kiddie pool over out here, so it's facing upwards, and she'll get out there and roll around in the puddles in the kiddie pool. Hell, I was outside with her yesterday. She was up on the deck getting petted, jumped down where their food and big metal water bowls at, and she went out there and walked straight across the water bowl, stepped over it and got all 4 feet in the water and just kept right on a walk into the other side, stepped out, turned around, started drinking out of the water bowl. Never seen a cat love water, but she does. We have had storms, but no rain fell. Yeah, that's very strange, but she loves water, loves to play in water. Yeah, we've not been neglected in the rain department. Um, like I said, like 4 or 5 days ago, it stormed all night long. It was still storming. Matter of fact, it started storming at like 11 o'clock at night, and rained and stormed all the way through till almost noon the next day. Because the wife actually had to take me to work that day to keep me from catching my death pneumonia. Um, it was because I have my waterproof duster, but it don't protect my legs or my feet or anything like that, and it was, the puddles were up. Let's put it that way. The puddles were up around here, so it would have been over the top of my tennis shoes. My socks would have been wet. Everything else. Plus, it was so warm that I would have been sweating to death under the duster, but freezing to death where everything got wet, where the water ran down my back, where my feet, my legs, and stuff got wet. So she took me to work, and it was a good thing that she did, because when I got out of work, it had stopped raining and it was already, uh, the sun was beating down like crazy. So I would have been sweating to death even more trying to wear that bloody canvas slicker home. I don't think rain has stopped the harvest a single day up to today. We had about 2 inches a week or so ago, so it's soaked into the ground, but it never ran off, and the ground still dry as a bone. Yeah, I think we're gonna. Um, I think we're going to see the opposite of dry as a bone this year. Um, there, I think we talked about it last week. They're talking about the 13-year storm um, this year. Uh, as a matter of fact, our area, and here's one more reason, Jay, to be thankful that you guys uh, don't live here. Um, they've got Michigan, our area of Michigan, northern Indiana, in the 5 foot plus zone for this winter. So, they're talking above normal snowfall, below normal temperatures. Um, if it truly is a 13-year storm like we have here, 13 years ago this year is when we had over 6 feet of snowfall in one storm. Lasted from early evening one day till late afternoon the next day. And people got snowed in. The plow trucks couldn't keep up with it. I was living in a housing development down in Indiana, northern part of Indiana at the time, and it took the plow trucks literally 2 days of going through that development to get the snow off the roads. Um, and then they just piled it in the middle of the cul-de-sacs and stuff. And there were snow piles, 25 feet tall. In late April, there was still snow in the cul-de-sacs. It was only like, 8, 9, 10 feet tall at that time. But when they first went through, it was piled like crazy. So, needless to say, out of the 12 or 13 cul-de-sacs in that development, the kids were, sledding down the piles in the cul-de-sacs right out into the road. And we had to lift the overhead garage doors and then take the snow blowers and start going out to cut through the snow and to clear out the mailboxes, or you didn't get mail because the mail people were not going to get out of their little white Jeeps. We had to snow blow and dig out a spot for them to pull their Jeep into so they could reach right out, open your mailbox, put your mail in, and go. It was it was interesting. Let's put it that way. Um, Snow. Ground still dry as bone. We could use a good soaker here. Oh, I bet. We could use a good snowfall season here. We didn't have any snow to speak of last winter. I never once used four-wheel drive. That's why Jan is happy to have me home for the winter so I didn't have to be out on the road driving like I used to do. Oh, yeah, I know. Or I think all of us are happy about that. Um, is glad to be your new. She's glad to be your new boss, dude. What are you talking about? She was always the boss. She was always the boss. I think maybe she lets Jay think he's the boss, but pretty sure. Just like my wife. That's blinding. I can't look at that. That made my head hurt just looking at it. My missus took a fall a few nights back. Is she okay, Tony? Got concussed, and my first question was, is your insurance paid up? Oh my God, dude. Concussed or not, I could see that little woman coming up off the couch and making it virtually impossible for them to find all the body parts. That poor thing, man. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you, dear. She is sore as heck. I'm sure she is. Where'd she fall out? Was she at home or um, hopefully not out in the garage, on a concrete floor? I mean, I hope she at least had some kind of a giving floor when she hit. That's terrible. I feel so bad for her. I can outrun her at the moment. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Yeah, on her way to the bathroom. That poor thing. Jesus criminy. I hear you had uh, another adventurous weekend, Jan. Um, taking a toll on you guys out there dealing with the public. I should have made more coffee this morning. That first pot went too fast. Oh my goodness, it was something else. I wish we done or had some place here close by that does some kind of a Halloween festival or something, even if it's just on the weekends. Um, I would get so much of a kick out of uh, out of going out and doing stuff every weekend like that. Even though I know it would wear me out. We were discussing that earlier. Just going out on Friday night for Felix's birthday tuckered me out. Matter of fact, I slept like 6 hours. We got home at 10 and I went straight to bed. And I had set my alarm knowing I would probably be in here being and tired when it was time to start getting ready for work. And my alarm woke me up. So, just sitting there watching her skate and playing with the granddaughters tuckered me out. So I didn't even, I mean, I made a pot of coffee, drank a cup, and shot out of here to get to work Saturday morning. The alarm I had set to let me know it's time to get ready, get dressed, and leave is the alarm that woke me up. So, yeah, I can't imagine being up dealing with people, even though I'd love it. I'd pay the price for it. But yeah, that tuckered me out. I kept the youngest granddaughter for the day a week or so back. Never again. That kid is a handful. Well, and see, that's how our oldest granddaughter is. She is running around. She's wanting to climb. She's wanting to play. She had these little teeny tiny roller skates that went on over her tennis shoes, and she was wanting to get out and skate and have a good old time when she was not in the rink. She was up there with us. She was wanting to go into the arcade and check out all the games. She was ready to go into the restaurant and get a few bites of pizza, then run right back out and play again. And me and Nana, we were sitting there entertaining her while Trevor and his wife were out there with Ash or whatever. And we had the youngest one. Of course, she was in her carrier, in her stroller, and she was wanting to watch everything and carry on conversations and play with her toys and play with us. And it's like, man, I was more equipped for this granddaughter thing 30 years ago uh, when my kids were that age. 35 years ago when my kids were that age. Yeah, being almost, being 57 now and dealing with little youngins, multiple little youngins running around, just kind of. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I am considering buying the grandkids some bluegrass instruments. There you go. Put them to work. Put one of them on a fiddle and put one of them on a banjo. Between your guitar and their banjos and fiddles, um, and and their, maybe one of them their cigar box basses or something. Um, Steel guitar. Give you something to do in your golden years. Go out and go on tour with the grandkids. And that'd be a great name for your band. Papa and the grandkids. It looks like to me that there is a resurgence of bluegrass of late. I have noticed that myself. I don't know why, but I have seen that a lot myself. Stuff like a mandolin, banjo, fiddle. I was more equipped 10 years ago. I'll just sit in my rocking chair and watch. There you I ain't going to be around kids learning fiddle or banjo. Thank you very much. He is a guy named Billy Strings. Yeah, we talked about Billy Strings last week. I remember that. Actually, had a chance to listen to a little bit of his music. Thank you very much for leaving the link in the chat last week. Yeah, you didn't mention Sierra Hall last week, but you mentioned Billy and Molly. I'll look up Sierra. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I have noticed a little bit of a resurgence um, in the bluegrass genre of late. The guy that I was training last week, and the girl that comes in to do the appetizers at 9:30 or so. Um, they both are familiar with bluegrass. We listened to bluegrass a couple of days last week. I'll normally bounce around between country music, one day, maybe some 80s rock or something, classic rock. Another day, maybe some 80s metal. Hell, I even listen to contemporary, My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. But they were familiar. Matter of fact, I heard them both humming uh, to bluegrass when it was playing. So yeah, very interesting. Um, Renfrew Valley, Kentucky is a popular place around here. Bluegrass every weekend. There is a couple of other but the main one is Billy Strings. That dude can play the guitar. I do a lot of listening to Asian bands, um, especially Japanese female bands. Yeah, just it seems like that's another big thing of late. Is oh, what do they call it? I can't remember what they call that now. Um, the Japanese female um, bands. Um, but I've noticed that the daughter listens to some of them. Her favorite is a band from about 7 or 8 years ago called Tally Tally something. Um, they're from right here in Michigan, and they haven't done anything in 7 or 8 years. She she listens to that music religiously. Um, when she's not watching game reviewers and stuff on TV, she's listening or watching their videos or listening to their music. There is a lot of those bands that pull influence from late 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Um, Heavily 70s and 80s from Bandmade. Um, I hear, as a matter of fact, it was not very long ago that um, the daughter was sitting in the living room and she was watching one of those Japanese female bands. And they were doing their own version of um, Back in Black from ACDC. And I was listening to the music, and it was the same, but it was different from how the original track was. And I had to stop and listen to it. It's like they're good. who who are my favorites. Of course, we we have heard you speak about bandmaids several times, and I mean, you've actually put the links in, and I've listened to them. I like their music too. Um, that may well been a band named Nemafeta. Nemafela. They have done a shitload of old covers. I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. I know it was a bunch of cute little Japanese girls up there and like, you know, little leather skirts and leather vests and white shirts underneath, and didn't see anybody holding an instrument. They were all just up there dancing and singing. But I music has to come from somewhere, I guess. I think there was either 5 or 6 girls up there, and they all looked like they might have been, 15, 16, 17 years old, and they were up there just dancing and singing the lyrics to Back in Black, but nobody had an instrument. I may have spelt that wrong. Maybe. And of course, I've seen some of those bands that they're on stage, and they're up there playing the music, and you got 1 or 2 of them up there singing. So I mean, it goes both ways, I guess. I don't know. Really fucking well. Cool. I will check them out. There's them doing Motley Crue. Oh, that should be good. Yeah, I'll definitely have to. I would watch the video right now, but I mean, that means I'd have to turn the sound back on the computer, and I don't want to get you know copyright for having their music playing uh, during a live stream. So I will definitely have to check that out later. I am shocked by the musicianship from those Japanese. Oh, I know. Um, it's absolutely incredible to sit and listen to some of them, and listen to how they're doing the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s music for a completely different generation. What, Ted, the 45th, 4 or 5 generations, or 3 or 4 generations after two or three generations after it was made. It's really cool to listen to their new generational take on a lot of our classics. They can play that I couldn't touch on my best day. See, I'm going to have to check out more of that style of music because, and I've talked about this before, especially with you during a live stream, that to me, the one thing that music is missing these days are those guitar solos, um, that they would do in a lot of their songs. Still to this day, I listen to, like Guns N' Roses, to hear those long guitar solos from Slash, or Queen and Brian May's guitar solos during some of their songs. I love it. I miss that in music these days. That's one of the reasons I listen to so much 80s rock, is because, I can get back to my guitar solos, and especially on Pandora, where, they don't cut out big long, like if it's going to be a 5 minute guitar solo, you're going to get the 5 minute guitar solo. But I've noticed too that Pandora is really good for not changing their music. You know, even even making it politically correct by bleeping out certain words and stuff like that. Um, I, here's one for you from our younger years. Um, the Moody Blues, "Money for Nothing." They mention, um, that little derogatory word for homosexual, has his own jet airplane. That little derogatory word, he's a millionaire. They leave it right in there for the world to hear. They don't care. Blah, 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 blah. Bandmade is a rock band. Most of the others are metal. Did you know that Brian May and his dad built that red guitar he uses? Jay Giles. Jay Giles did not do Money for Nothing. Let me see here. Better yet, I'm going to go back here so it can be Hoyd. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Dire Straits. I'm sorry, not Moody Blues. Dire Straits. Released in 1985. Um, so Jay and Jan, do you guys have to? You guys are doing that little festival thing every weekend for the entire month of October. So you just got done doing it yesterday, and you got to go back on Saturday and do it again. Yeah, Martin Offler. Oh, I hear a trash truck. First time today. Go figure. The last 2 weeks they're running later and later and later. The hardest guitar bit to cover, right of all time. Right of all time. Why does that sound familiar? That sounds familiar to me, but I can't think of any words or music that goes with it. Got the reinstalled microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. You got the movies, refrigerator. We got the movies, color TV. Money for nothing is the riff. That odd syncopated pluck thing is hard as hell to copy correctly. Would wasn't he playing a Les Paul when he done that riff? I seem to think he was playing a Les Paul, an original Les Paul, when he played that. If I remember correctly, I don't ever watch the videos anymore, but I seem to remember that that was a big body Les Paul that he was playing. I'm not sure it was not a Strat like in the video. Hmm. I'm going to see if I can find a video of them live. I know there's videos out there of them doing some of their different hits like live. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find that. That's got me wondering now. The vid, he had a red Strat. Yes, he did. It just sounds like a Les Paul. I don't know why, but for some reason it sounds like a Les Paul. Well, I think Jan and Jay might have walked away to get some breakfast or something. My God, we're down to 20 minutes already. We're doing good. No little circle or nothing. So we're doing pretty good. I know. I just threw it out in the universe. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. Um, that is a tough call. It seems to be heavily affected. Hmm. So what do you got going on this week, Tony? I know you like to get your own honeydew list going. Um, Probably even worse since the wife hurt herself, but um, hey, well, it's what we're here for, I guess. who in the 80s didn't process the shit out of their guitars. Dude, I remember seeing bands from the 80s playing live, and I mean, they had these monster boards of pedals, and they were shooting, I mean, eight, nine, 10 pedals tied together. Um, and of course, they had different switches on the guitar bodies to throw out different tones and stuff like that. It was That's what I mean. The 80s was the decade of showmanship. I mean, monster long drum solos, monster long guitar solos, sounds coming out of instruments that should not come out of those instruments. I remember being a drummer, of course, I remember the drum kits. Robert Sweet from Striper, the visual timekeeper, and that monster cage. He had 100, what was it, 170 pieces to his drum set. Um, he had everything from rototoms to rototoms lined up on his cage, plus his toms on the drum set. His triple bass drum, each with a different tone. Um, you had Motley Crue doing songs like Wild Side, where the whole drum kit is on a hydraulic lift, and it lifts up um, during the guitar solo and moves out almost over the crowd and then starts spinning while he's playing. It's crazy crap like that. The 80s was the decade of showmanship when it come to music. I'm planning to get the maroon Suburban running this week. Oh, that's cool. The thing with pedal boards, a lot of pedals were used for 1, 2 songs in a set. The reason that changed is that they get techs to do it off stage with digital rigs, like a Kemper. I got you. Now, see, I did not know that. That's actually interesting. I used 4 or 5 pedals: volume, wah, Thrashmaster, and chorus. Oh, cool. And talk about bands that um, started things with showmanship. It's a little known fact that ACDC was the very first metal band to use bagpipes. A lot of people didn't know that ACDC was the very first metal band to use a set of bagpipes. Um, got to listen to the music. You got to feel the music. You got to listen to it. Um, Today I use a Digitech modular with those same effects. I got you. Yep, long way to the top. You got it. That's exactly it. And the only reason I know that is because I hear that song just about every day on, well, when I listen to my 80s rock channel on Pandora. I'll hear Long Way to the Top every single day I listen to it. And, I got my JBL pillbox turned all the way up. So, I mean, it's echoing through that kitchen. You know, I love it. Luckily, my bosses are both young. So, when they happen to pop in the morning and I'm there working, I don't ever hear, "Oh my God, that's so loud." I'll hear them yell, "Hey," over the music and turn around. I got their head going. Yeah. Well, I agree. I agree. They're hard rock. I mean, a lot of things or places have them classified as metal or 80s metal, because they were in the earlier 80s one of the heaviest bands out there. So they had them. They classify them as the forerunners of heavy metal as we know it. But yeah, they were a heavy rock band. You know, they consider them the forerunners of Iron Maiden, of Judas Priest, um, Twisted Sister, uh, bands like that. Bon Scott, ACDC, and Back in Black. I still listen to it. As a matter of fact, while I'm working on, after this is over with, when I'm working on the next paranormal flashback that's for the other channel, um, I'll be listening to probably, ACDC. Oh, goodness gracious. I should have. I ain't got nothing to drink. I'm getting awful dry here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go get me a drink before I can't talk. We only got like 10 minutes left, and I'm already starting to feel like super scratchy and stuff. So give me just a second. I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be right back. This is terrible. I'm getting too old for this. bloody swallow left in my water bottle. The hell? I literally had a swallow left. Half a swallow. Oh, let me see here. I have the Bon Scott era AC/DC on CD, along with all the Makeup Kiss and all the Beatles and so on. One Mississippi, two Mississippi. Yeah, tell me about it. And took me longer than any second to type that. TJ, good to see you. Hope you're doing good, young feller. Was just telling Brenna earlier, hadn't seen or heard nothing from you being posting here lately. You know, I keep listening to that, listening for that angelic voice of yours to pop up on Facebook or here on the tube, and I've not heard anything from you here of late. Hope everything's well with all that. I do like to share what impresses me. I just released one Friday, releasing another this week. I'll have to go back and look then because I did not get a notification for it. So I'm gonna have to go look because I like sharing your stuff out. And besides that, when you become big and famous, I want to be known as one of your very first supporters. Or even I'll go as far as when Paranormal Papa Investigations finally gets posted to a streaming platform, uh, I'm going to go out and do the Villisca murder house, and I'm going to have the up and coming rock star T.J. Holton come in as a guest investigator. Check the dude out. Dust in a baggie, and turmoil and tinfoil. The last one I released is called Satisfactional Business. It's not country. How can you do not country? I'm going to have to check that out now. Satisfactional Business. Hmm. I'm still waiting for music videos. That's what I'm waiting for is music videos. Have your little have your cameraman walking down the street backwards in front of you while you're just walking down the street in some little town, meeting people, shaking their hand, going into the the cafe and drinking coffee and sitting there thinking to yourself or something real pretty like while the music's playing in the background. Things like that. Real simple stuff that you don't need a lot of effects for and stuff. Just a real good editor. And see, I'm just the opposite, Tony. I like to see the value in music videos, but I also like live gig shows. And if I can ever get Ty back up here to play at the brewery, we just had a band Saturday and Sunday night come in from Colorado. They were old friends of my bosses when they lived out in Colorado, and this is their second time coming here to the brewery to play. So yeah, I can ever get Ty out here. I'm going to make sure and have my rig there so I can actually film him uh, live doing his music. I like to see how an artist works on their song after living with them for a bit. Yeah, I can see the value in that. I can see the value in that. Well, guys, we got less than a minute left. It's been nice doing this 2 weeks in a row with no issues, no technical issues, no beefuttery in the electronics or hijinks from the modem. Of course, now it's much closer to me because it's only like what 8 feet away, 10 feet away at the most. So far, so good. You take care too, Tony. Business is a hip hop rap. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, that's right. Don't be a stranger, Mr. Holden. But that's going to be it for today. I'm going to get back to working on that paranormal flashback. It is one from just a couple years ago when several of us were called to a local saloon in the next town over because they have been having an upswing of activity. Of course, it'll be out here in just a few weeks. Every Wednesday, we do a paranormal flashback. Every Friday, we do an episode of the Paranormal Papa podcast. And we got episode 11 coming up here real soon. So definitely, if for those that are on here now, for those that are going to watch this after the live stream ends, definitely check out Paranormal Papa Investigations right here on YouTube. We're having fun with it, and we're making it grow. So Oh, let me see here. One last looky poo here. I almost overslept. Sorry. No biggie. Take care. You too, buddy. Take care. I'm going to dismantle a cheap Chinese Strat and get the body for a bunch of fender parts I have here. Sounds like you're in for a fun day. Sounds good to me. But until next Monday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. Let's enjoy what's left of spooky season. It's the time for spookiness. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good week.